Hey guys, welcome to 3 Geeks in a Pod, and today I'm going to review Debs Errol's new EP, CTRL+ALT+DUETS.
Now I have so many more to pass around. Tribbles.
Now, as I'm sure most of you are aware, Debs Errol recently released a collection of their parody covers, borrowing music ranging from Disney tunes to 80s rock to modern pop, and making them appropriately geeky. Since I tend to do things rather backwards, I'm starting with the last track and moving forward. But bear with me because I am not the best music critic. I don't know that much about music. However, I do know what I like, and I always have an opinion.
And so I found out, there is no doubt, my partner's a nerd.
Track 7 is titled My Partner's a Nerd. A look at a poor normal person who just can't understand their partner's obsession with a wide range of geek topics, from action figures to cosplay. This is, of course, all set to the song Part of Your World from Disney's Little Mermaid. Sadly, I'm not the biggest fan of Disney musicals, but I do recognize the talent of Alan Menken, who composed many of the greatest Disney songs from the late 80s and early 90s. This song normally wouldn't be my cup of tea, but I must say that Debs was really born to sing Disney musicals. Her voice brings me back to my childhood watching Ariel, swim around the cave, dreaming of life somewhere over the rainbow. Now, it's a shame that this is all ruined by my mostly frustrated need to sit this poor person down to guide them through the song and explain everything.
Here I start new, I don't want to.
Now, Falling Quickly is a Tetris-themed remake of the beautiful Falling Slowly, a song immortalized in the underappreciated film Once. Of course, I'm sure many of you already know this, since many of you are already fans of the movie, and it seems to be quite popular in the Debs Errol crowd, but I think it's still worth mentioning. This song is as beautiful and striking as the original. It, of course, explores the frustration with the classic video game Tetris, and I love that the slower pace of the song is very much contrasted by the frenzied nature of the game. The duet between Debs and Errol sounds wonderful here. Their harmonies are beautiful and mix well with the haunting piano and guitar, all as the song builds to a beautiful climax.
Days gaming ain't got the same soul. I'm a Commodore 64.
Now, Commodore 64 is a familiar 80s rock tune set to Bob Seger's old-time rock and roll, which is appropriate given that the song is about a hardcore fan of the old computer system, the Commodore 64, as the title suggests. It evokes great memories of all kinds of classic video games, including those giant floppy disks that you used to use, as the subject of the song absolutely refuses to adopt any other type of gaming, be it the, NES or the Xbox 360. It's appropriate that this throwback to a relic from the 80s is sung by Errol.
Trends run, they come, tie after tie.
Now, speaking of the 80s, next we have Tie After Tie, a remake of the classic Cyndi Lauper song Time After Time. Starting with a familiar synth sound and 80s rock guitar riff, Debs and Errol take you deep into a galaxy far, far away as they sing about the experience of an Alliance pilot from Star Wars trying desperately to evade the dreaded TIE fighter. Now, of course, this song is chock full of all kinds of great Star Wars references and quotes. I really enjoy the lyrics, and though I'm a big fan of the classic song, I really feel like Debs and Errol have done an excellent job of creating something rather clever.
If I were an undead crawler,
If I were an undead crawler.
Next we have Undead Crawler, a rendition of the Bare Naked Ladies' $1 Million, except this time about the ever-hungry living dead. I have to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of this song, most likely due to my own biases concerning the portrayal of zombies and certain really annoying tropes that just won't go away. But the delightful banter in this song really illustrates what's so wonderful about Debs and Errol. If you've never seen them perform live, their albums don't do justice to the wonderful back and forth and witty repartee they share on stage. And that's more often, more entertaining than their actual music. And here they've really brought that to life wonderfully, outdoing any of my sort of preconceived notions about the song.
I can show you a world, shiny, pixely, splendid.
Now, continuing our trend of Alan Menken songs made nerdy, we have A Virtual World. This song takes a whole new world from Aladdin, and rather than focus on the boring Arabian romance, it discusses the love of video games and escaping from this world to a virtual reality. Again, the memories of classic Disney are brought tumbling back while exploring the wonders of gaming and the many expansive worlds that you can explore. But like my partners in Nerd, this is another song about someone who just doesn't understand the love a geek has for his or her passion, in this instance gaming. But of course, this is all brought home by another lovely duet by Debs and Errol, who really do work well together.
'Cause I didn't know the tribble that I brought in.
And finally comes Tribbles, which could just be my favorite song in this entire collection, and perhaps the best song that Debs and Errol have ever put together. Debs borrows from Taylor Swift's Trouble to discuss the dreaded but adorable balls of fur from Star Trek that have plagued many ships over the years. Like many of the songs on this album, the lyrics are clever, adorable, and make appropriate references to the classic Star Trek episode that made the creatures famous. Now, what some of you may not actually know, I'm very familiar with the evolution of this song in particular, as I lived with Debs while she was writing it.
As you may not be aware, most of you probably are, I live with Debs, of Debs and Errol, and living with her is actually kind of fun and interesting. This is what we deal with some days.
Now they're everywhere on the bridge. I'm practicing.
I know.
And when I order food, they come out instead. And now I see. Now I see. Now I see.
I was privy to hours of her practicing as she wrote and rewrote this song, so it's fascinating to experience watching it go from early development to fully produced pop hit that really puts Miss Swift to shame. But there's something just not right. There's something missing. There's something that the song needs. So I've gone ahead and done a little remix.
Oh no, I didn't know the tribble that I brought in. So shame on me now. Who knew you go multiplying? Now I have so many more to pass around. Tribbles, tribbles, tribbles.
Yeah. And that'll do it for Debs and Errol's CTRL+ALT+DUETS. I have to say that this is really their best work to date. The whole EP sounds really polished, really perfected, really professional. It's clear to me that they've learned a lot from their last album, taken everything that they've learned, and created something wonderful here. So I encourage all of you to go out right now and buy it immediately. Go to debsanderrol.bandcamp.com and order it for the low price of $6. Trust me, it's worth it. Good night, guys.